This conference will now be recorded.
Right, let's start today's session. So in the last session, we were discuss about functions. So what is function? How to create a function with parameter, without parameter, function with return statement and without return statement we discuss. So in this session, I'm going to discuss about types of arguments in function. What are the different types of arguments in function we will discuss. See, generally, when we consider this example, so this is function and it is having two parameters or arguments, and function is doing this operation a minus b. We have to call the function. So whenever we call the function with 20 and 10, so the result is what here? 20 minus 10, 10 is the result. So this is function calling with passing values. This is function creating with different number of arguments like a and b. Two arguments are there. What function can do actually print a minus b? So here a, b are formal arguments, we can say that. A, b are formal arguments. Here 20, 10 are actual arguments. 20, 10 are actual arguments. So these are formal arguments A, B. 20 and 10 are what? Actual arguments, actual here. 20 and 10 actual arguments. So actual arguments will go and stored in formal arguments. 20 will go and stored in A and 10 in B. So 20 minus 10, the result is what? 10. Okay. So the problem is here in Python functions. So these are formal argument, I said. These are actual arguments are there. In Python function, actually four types of actual arguments are there. Four types of actual arguments. Actual arguments. What are the four types? One is positional arguments. Positional arguments. Next one is keyword arguments. Keyword arguments. Keyword arguments. Next one is default arguments. Default arguments. Default arguments. Next one is variable length arguments. Variable length arguments. So these are the four types of actual arguments in Python functions. Positional arguments, keyword arguments, default arguments, variable length arguments. Okay. See, coming to the positional arguments. What is positional arguments? The arguments which are passed to a function. The arguments which are passed to a function. The argument which are passed to the function in correct positional order. In correct positional order is called positional arguments. Okay. The arguments which are passed to the function in correct positional order only. These arguments are called positional argument. If we change the position, if we change the position, if we change the position, the result will change. Result will change. If we change the number of argument, if we change the number of arguments, will get error. Will get error. So these are the positional arguments. If you are working with positional arguments, you must and should be follow the correct positional order. If you change the position, the result will change. The result will change. If you change the number of arguments, we will get an error. So correct positional order we have to pass to the function. Otherwise, it will give error. Okay. For example, let us consider here 2010. I am giving no 2010 in the sense position is first value 20, second value 10. 20 minus 10, 10. If I change the position 10, 20 minus 10, it is coming. So the result is look like. So let us consider this DEF F1 A B. These are the positional arguments. Now print A minus B, A minus B, print A minus B. Now I'm calling the function 2010. Result is look like. But whenever I'm changing the position F1 10 20, so the result is what here? Minus 10. So you change the position of the arguments, then result is changed. Suppose if you increase the number of arguments like 10 20 30, so what happen? You will get an error because function is having two arguments or two parameters, but you are going to pass what? Three arguments, three parameters. So it's give error. F1 takes two positional arguments, but three were given here. So I have given three positional arguments, three were given actually. It is not work out here. It won't work out. Okay. So this is what positional arguments we can say that. Now coming to that keyword arguments. Keyword argument. While working with positional arguments, you must and should be take care position. If you change the position, you will get result will be changed. But if you increase the number of arguments, then you will get an error. So next arguments are called keyword arguments. The arguments which are passed to the function with the keyword or parameter name is called keyword arguments. So here the arguments which are passed to the function with keyword or parameter name. So parameter name also we are saying that is keyword for function is called keyword arguments. We can say that keyword arguments. But the thing is here keyword arguments is this one. Let me show you. DEF F1 F1. So name is a keyword. Message is a keyword. I want to print here hello. First I'm giving name, then what? Message. This is function has to do like this. Hello, name I want to display, and then after message I want to display. This is one keyword, this is another keyword. So how do we call this function? F1 of name equals to. Then here I'm giving the name, then message equals to. Here I'm giving this is message. Good morning. So I'm calling this function F1. So name is a keyword, message is a keyword. Here Mohan, this will go here, and good morning will go here. Hello Mohan, good morning is coming. Now this is the clear output. The arguments which are passed to the function with parameter name or keyword name is called keyword arguments. But observe here, if I'm trying to do like this, MSG equals to good morning, MSG equal to good morning, the name equals to Mohan. I'm changing the values. I'm changing its position actually here. So position, firstly name and message, then after position I'm changing message and name. But even though I change the position of the arguments, now result is what? Same. Hello Mohan, good morning. Hello Mohan, good morning, like this. So while working with keyword arguments or parameters, no need to maintain the position here. Position or order is not important, but keyword must be important. Okay. In this case, keyword must be in anyways we have to call first and last, last and first, no problem, but keywords must be required to use. So here in this case, we can use positional arguments also. Positional arguments. Positional arguments in the sense previously what we discussed. Suppose I'm giving positional arguments directly. I'm not using keyword arguments. Directly I'm giving the name called Mohan. This is one position. First position. First position, this is only. Next I'm giving good morning. Like this. Now this is what hello Mohan, good morning is coming. This is positional argument actually. These two are keyword arguments actually. In this keyword arguments, I change the names, positions also, no matter it is, same result is coming. But when it comes to positional argument, if you change the position, result will be changed or not? Yes, undoubtedly result will be changed. For example, I'm changing first position, good morning, I'm giving good morning. And second position, name I'm giving. Now let's run this. So we got an output what? Hello, good morning, Mohan, it is coming. So you know that very well. These are the positional argument. While working with positional argument, compulsory position is required and important. If you change the position, result might be changed. Okay, if you increase the number of arguments, result will be error. But when it comes to keyword arguments, in the keyword arguments, position of the arguments or order of the arguments is not important, but keywords are important here. Keywords are. So either we can use keyword arguments or you can use positional arguments. But we can use both simultaneously, positional argument as well as keyword arguments. But make sure that while working with both simultaneously keyword arguments and positional arguments, first we have to take compulsory positional arguments, then after keyword argument. Positional argument in the sense MY chain, then one is positional argument, then keyword argument is what this is MSG equals to good morning. Good morning. Good morning. This will work fine. First is positional argument. Next one is keyword arguments. Sir, what happen if I'm taking like this? First only keyword arguments. Name equals to name equals to name equals to Mohan. Name equal to Mohan. Then after positional argument, I'm saying good morning. Good morning. It will not work out. Good morning. It will not work out. So now the error is coming like this. Syntax error. Positional argument follows keyword arguments. Positional argument follows keyword arguments. This is what positional argument follows keyword arguments. So we can work with both simultaneously, keyword as well as positional arguments, but you must and should pass first positional arguments, then after keyword arguments like this. But don't mention first the keyword arguments with parameter name, then after positional argument. It will give error actually. This is what rule actually. Positional argument follows keyword arguments. Okay. So this is about keyword arguments. The arguments which are passed to the function with keyword or parameter name is called keyword arguments. Positional arguments means the arguments which are passed to the function in correct positional order, that is called positional arguments. In the positional arguments, compulsory have to maintain correct position or order. In the keyword argument, position or order is not important. You must be required keywords. But both we can work with positional order, positional arguments and keyword arguments. But make sure that first we have to mention keyword arguments, then after positional arguments, it's not possible. First you have to maintain position argument, then after keyword arguments. Okay, these are the second type of arguments. And third type of arguments are what? Default arguments. It's very simple. Generally, whenever we create a function with any parameter or argument, then compulsory you have to call that function with that argument. Suppose if I forgot to call the function with argument, then what happened? It shows what? Error. So though function is having parameter, but if I don't want to pass any parameter, still function I want to still I want to work with function, then that case we can use function with the default argument. Okay, the function which is having default argument, the function which is having default argument, then then we need not to we need not to call that function with the argument with argument with argument the function which is having default arguments, then we need not to call that function with argument. If you want, you can call, no matter it is, but whenever you are not calling the function with the with argument, then what happen, default argument only will take. But whenever we supply the argument or whenever we supply the parameter to the function, then supplied value only will be considered. For example, you can see this is the function f1. Function is having only what we can say name. So in this case, this is not default argument, just compulsory you have to mention the function name, the argument name compulsory. Here Mohan, hello Mohan is coming. For example, if I'm not going to be pass the value, then what happen? Error will come. So f1 missing one required positional argument name. So name is missing, no? So it will not work out here. The name is missing, it will not work out. But in that case, what I want to do, default name I want to give. For example, guest I want to give. So even though when we are not supplying default, when we are not supplying parameter name, so now you can see guest is going to be call. So hello guest, yes or no? So instead of passing directly name, it's going to work with what default argument without giving error. No matter how many times you are going to be call the function without value, then that many times default argument only will be effect. So now this time f1 like this. Hello Mohan, first one. Hello guest, it is coming. Again, hello Durga, we are passing. Hello guest, it is coming. So default argument will work like this only. A function which is having default argument, then we need not to call that function with argument. If we call that function with argument, your supplied value only will be affect, otherwise it will affect default values. Okay, next, coming to the variable length arguments. What is variable length? Suppose we have a function with some two parameters or three parameters. So suppose function is having one parameter, it will take one parameter only. While calling compulsory, we have to pass one parameter. So a, print a. Then we are calling the function with what? One value. Will it come? Yes, it come. Suppose if I'm calling the function without value, it will give error. If I'm calling the function with the two values, it shows error undoubtedly. Okay, so we cannot call a function without passing values, and we cannot call a function with passing two arguments or three arguments like this, three different parameters. Why? Because this function is expect what? Only one parameter. Now, variable length argument means function, if function is having variable length argument, for that function when we call, we can supply any number of values including zero number. For example, how to declare variable length argument in the sense star, by using star symbol. Suppose star a, here I am using star a. Star a indicates this is variable length argument. That means while calling the function, you can supply any number of arguments to that function, including zero number. For example, here zero number is there. I'm not going to pass any values. I'm going to pass only one value. I'm going to pass then 10, 20, two values. I'm going to pass like 10, 20, 30. Like any number of arguments we can able to follow like this. So generally function will not work in that case actually. So function is having how many number of arguments, that many we have to pass while calling. But here in this case, this is called special variable called default variable length arguments. it accepts any number of arguments from the user side, including zero number also here. F1 zero number, here one number, two numbers, three numbers, four numbers, like this. So let's run this. It all numbers will be written into tuple format actually here. This is what it's tuple format only. One number after comma indicates means tuple only here. So this is function is working now. So sometimes we need to pass to the function with a variable number of arguments, that is called variable length arguments. In the variable number of variable length arguments, so we can able to supply any number of arguments to the function. So how to declare variable length argument? In the sense, by using star symbol. Without star symbol, that is normal parameter is there. So these are the four different types of actual arguments in Python functions. One is positional arguments, keyword arguments, default arguments, and variable arguments. Positional arguments means the arguments which are passed to the function in correct positional order. What happen if we change the position? Result will be changed. What happen if I increase the number? Result will be error. Now keyword arguments means the arguments which are passed to the function with keyword or parameter name is called keyword arguments. And the keyword arguments and positional argument both simultaneously we can able to work. Yes, both it is able to work with simultaneously. Then while working with keyword arguments and keyword arguments and positional arguments, compulsory you have to take first positional arguments, then after keyword arguments, otherwise it won't work. And default arguments means, so the function which is having default arguments, then we need not to call that function with argument directly. The default value will take when we are not supplying. If we are supply some value, argument value to the function while calling, that supplied value only will affect. Variable length argument in the sense any number of values we can able to supply to the function, including zero number. All supplied value will be treated as tuple format. Okay, this is normal functions concept what we discuss. So functions are important, which can be used in reusability purpose. We can call many number of times after creating function. Next, I'm going to discuss about anonymous functions or lambda functions. What is anonymous and lambda function? See, so far whatever we discuss the functions, all functions, we have what we can say, all functions, we have the name of the function is there. But coming to the thing, sometimes we need to create a function without any name. That type of nameless functions are called anonymous functions or lambda functions, we can say that. Anonymous functions or lambda functions. Anonymous. Sometimes we can declare a function without any name. Such type of nameless functions are called anonymous functions or lambda functions. Okay. See, why anonymous functions or lambda functions? What is the use of anonymous functions or lambda function? Means using anonymous functions, we can write very concise code. Concise code in the sense, the code we can write in shortcut way. Okay, length of the code we will be reduced. Using normal functions, the code might be lengthy, but using lambda functions, code will be completely reduced. This is one reason actually, So we can write very concise code and readability of the program will be improved, and easily we can able to write our expression. So this is one reason to work with anonymous and lambda functions. Normally when we have a functions, normal function I'm speaking, once we create normal function, that we can call many times or not? Yes, we can call many times, any number of times we can able to call. But anonymous functions or lambda functions are not like that. Once we create anonymous function or lambda function, that is only for instant use, only one time usage purpose we can create. Yes, instantly we can create, we can write expression and we can use it. instantly usage. And the most important case when we use lambda function means in Python, some functions will expect other function as an argument. In Python, some functions will expect other function as an argument. In that cases, the best choice is lambda expression. Okay, suppose we created one function like f1. So f1 is doing some task here, some statements I have written in f1. Then we have f2. We have f2, another function f2. This function will expect other function as an argument. Yes. So f2 function is having argument, that is f1. It's not direct parameter. It's function, actually it is another function. So every time when we call this f2 function, internally f2 function will call other function as an argument. So this is length of the code is possible here because we have to create one function to do some particular task. That function we have to call every time under the another function. So it is length of the code. So to avoid this, we can write very concise code by using lambda function. Okay, so this is lambda function, just basic introduction. And using lambda functions, when we write lambda functions, lambda expressions, we will not write any return statement. So there won't be a return statement. So why? Because lambda functions will return internally expressions. Internally will return expression. You need not to mention return statement explicitly. Automatically it will return expression. If your function is normal function other than lambda, so compulsory return statement is required. It's optional according to your requirement. You have to use if you want to return some values from the function, then return statement is required. But in coming to the lambda expressions, by default lambda functions will return expression value internally. So no need to specify return statement, I'm saying. Next, generally how to declare a normal function. This is syntax to declare normal function. Def square of n. I want to find out square of n. Then using return statement, I want to find the square. Return n into n means square. So lambda function is like that. Using lambda keyword, we have to mention lambda, lambda, then n colon n into n. This is lambda expression. Same finding the square value. So the syntax of lambda function is this one. So lambda, lambda, then after that arguments list, then expression. So lambda arguments list colon expression. This is what the lambda syntax. So I'll write few examples with lambda. Then after that, where we can use exactly lambda, I'll write the expressions. For example, I want to find out the square of given number with lambda. S equals to, S is a variable, lambda n colon n into n. Then print, simple expression, print. How to do that? Yeah, can you pass parameter like normal functions? No, so we cannot. So parameters means this is only parameter n and n into n. That's it, parameter. Expression is there. These are the parameters. Okay, these are the parameters only. Next, you can see here print square value is square of 4 is, for example, square of 4 is. Then s of what? 4. S of 4. We are passing parameters to the lambda variable. Now it will work out. 16. You can accept runtime value also here. S equals to int of input of like this, no matter it is. Suppose I want to add sum of two numbers. How to do that? Simple expression, sum of 4 and 5 is 5 and 4 is and 4 5. So is there any values? No. Two parameters. Then expression is what? A plus b. Simple. Sum of two numbers values purpose, we use lambda expression like this. Suppose multiply, yes, you can use same. So multiply is this one. Expression will be changed, that is. So we can reduce length of the code and readability of the program will be improved and easily we can write our expression, and no return statement here. You can see lambda function itself, it return internally the expression value, so we need not to specify any return statement. So this is the advantage of lambda actually here. Suppose I want to find out biggest of two numbers actually here. How it is possible here? So biggest of 4 and 8, 5 and 8. So we have to use 5, 8 parameters. A, B. How to write our expression? A value is biggest value. When it will A value biggest value? If A greater than B. Else, else, else. What is that? B only. Yes, that's simple expression. A, B are argument list of lambda function. A is the biggest value I'm giving. When it will be biggest value? If A greater than B, its biggest value. Otherwise, who is biggest value? B only. So S of 5 comma 8, 5 is the A, 8 is the B. Now biggest of 5 and 8 is 8 only. Like this only it is possible. Okay, this is what simple expression we are writing. So if you want to find out whether even number or odd number using lambda function, how to do that? Simple. You have to use like this. Just wait. Type of S. So type of S is lambda. I will show you. Just wait. Print type of S. Type of S. Now you can see this is the function actually. Do you have any function name? No. What is this function? Lambda function. Yes, it will not return lambda. Directly function it is. Type of S is a function variable, function pointer. So type of S like this. Now let me show you how to find even number or odd number using lambda. I will show you. Just you can see a if a modulus equal to 0. Yeah, that's what I will tell. I will tell you this example quickly. Just wait. As I told you that some functions will expect other function as an argument. Okay, some functions will expect other function. Some function will expect other function as an argument. Then this cases lambda is the best option. Lambda is the best choice. So what function will expect other function as an argument? See, first one is filter function. Filter is a function. Next one is map is a function. Next one is reduce is a function. Reduce. Filter, map and reduce. These functions, especially in Python, will expect other function as an argument. So in that case, we can use lambda expression. Lambda is the best choice. For example, here filter function. What filter will do? We can write only one code or no more than one line, no problem at all. You can able to write it. See, filter function is used to filter the values from given sequence. This function is used to filter the values from given sequence based on condition. Okay, this function is used to filter the values from given sequence based on condition. The syntax of filter function is this one. Syntax filter function comma sequence. This is, suppose I want to find only even numbers from the given sequence. So how to do that? Only even numbers I want to print from given sequence. Without lambda I will show. Later with lambda also I will show that. To filter the values from the given sequence, first of all we have to create one function, normal function, to find even number. So my function name is even, and x is parameter. X is parameter. How I can find if x module 2 equal to 0, x module 2 equal to 0, then return true, else return false. This is my function actually. This function will do only what? Whether the value is even or odd, it will be checked. Only responsibilities of this even function is whether this function is even number or odd number, it has to be checked. Only that. But based on what we are going to finding lambda through, we are finding whether it is even number or odd number from given list or given sequence. Okay, let's try to create one list here. List. My list name is L equals to like this. I want to use filter function. After filter function finding number of items, even items, then I want to store in list one only. L1 equals to, how to convert it into list format of what function? Filter function. Filter function syntax, observe here, filter of function, its other function, comma sequence. Now here I'm using list of filter of function. What is function? Even, it's a function, comma, here you want to find out L. L means what? Our list here. Then print L1 finally. So sometimes we can pass other function as an argument to other function like filter. Filter function is expecting other function as an argument. So every time for every value, for example, value is there, two value, no? Two values even or odd number, it has to find out. Who is find out? Filter. For that it will call internally what? Even function. Two value goes to here, then 2 module 2 equal 0, it return to the true value in the filter function, and it will take into list format. It will store in L1. 3 value, 4 value, 5 value, 6, 7, 8, like this. Any number of elements are there, 7 elements are there, 7 times this function is called. So that is not good in reality. So sometimes we can expect function, sometimes we need to call a function which is expect other function as an argument. This time better option is lambda. Here without lambda I'm using. Normally function is there, every time it will call the function and it will return in, it will filter the values, and after filtering complete values will be into list format, will be stored in L1 only. But same program if I write with lambda, so how it is with lambda? It is very simple. So look at here, with lambda my list is this one, same list 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, and L1 equals to list of filter of. Instead of even function I'm writing what? Lambda x x. If if x module 2 equal to 0, just wait, x module 2 equal to 0, then where it has to be checked? L. Then directly we are going to print L1. That's it. So this is with lambda. It's very concise code and very shorthand way of writing the code clearly with lambda. Now this is also working fine with lambda is working. So directly you need not to call number of times your function. So this filter function is don't have any other function as an argument. This filter function is having internally lambda expression. This expression through it's going to be find out for every value from the list. This is very simple. But here there is separate function. Separate function. What function is even function? How many? Every time this filter function will call internally even function for value for checking whether it is even or odd. So this is lengthy of the code. This is shorthand way of writing the code. So using lambda. So filter function is expect usually other function as an argument. To avoid that, inside the filter function we write lambda expression to do that. Suppose even number not odd number I want to find out. So now you can see this, we have to give expression, then only odd number will be find out like this. Odd number will be find out. Okay. So this is filter function. Next, map function is there. Map function also similarly filter, but it will also expect other functions as an argument. So that's what we are using again here, map with lambda, without lambda. What will do map function actually here? Okay, so I will tell you map function. For every element present in sequence, for every element present in sequence, and apply some condition, then return new list of elements. For apply, for every element present in sequence, and apply some condition based on your requirement, then return new list of elements. For this purpose we can use map function. Yes, we can apply different conditions on our list elements, and finally I want to return into new list, then that purpose we use map function. So map function syntax also like this. Map function syntax is like this. Map of, here this is expect other function, and sequence. Similarly. So let's try with that some different case without lambda, with lambda here. Suppose I want to, I have a list here. List elements completely I want to do multiply with 2 or double the values. I want to do the double the values of the list. For example, dbl, it's my function of x. How to make double values here? Simple, multiply with 2. So return 2 into x. That means double the value for. So what function I have to call here? dbl. Then with what function? Map function. Now you can see it's going to be double the all elements and then return into new list or not? Yes, it will return into new list here. Exact list is 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, but it's going to be double the values. So 2 into 2, 3 into 3, like this, 3 into 2, 4 into 2. We can write expression anyway, no problem. Here I'm using double star. I'm giving double star in the sense what? 2 to the power of 2, 3 to the power of 2, 4 to the power of 2, like this, square values. So this map function also is calling every time other function as an argument, no? So instead of that, what we are doing, we can do filter with lambda. Here I'm using map with lambda. I'm doing, so lambda expression is x value, then 2 into x. I'm doing, that's it, 2 into x expression. So it's very simple expression. Now this is 2 into x with lambda. So map function is used to apply some condition on every list element and return into new list of elements. That case we can use map function. Further purpose, map function will expect other function as an argument. So to avoid that, instead of that every time calling the other function, we can use what? Lambda expression internally. This is with lambda, without lambda. Reduce function means what? The meaning of reduce is what? We have lot of items, we have to reduce into single item. Reduce function is used to reduce the all elements from the sequence and return into single element. That is called reduce function. But normally when we see when we type here filter function, it's coming or not in IntelliSense? Yes, it's coming. Then map function I'm typing, it's coming or not? Yes, it's coming. But the thing is reduce function I'm typing, reduce. Is it coming? No, it's not coming. Why? Because reduce function is present in functools module. There is a module in Python, module in the sense library, functools module. Then whenever we use functools dot reduce, it's coming now this time. So strictly remember, reduce function is present in functools module. Without functools module, we cannot use reduce function. So whenever you use reduce function, compulsory we have to use functools. So why? Because import functools I did. But instead of that, what I'll do, from functools reduce, from functools import reduce. Then this time when we use directly, no need to specify functools dot reduce, directly we can use reduce function here. So what reduce function will do? Reducing the elements of the sequence and will be written into single element by applying some condition. How to do that? We'll see that. List is there, L equals to. So here 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 like this. 5, 6, 7 like this. Then new list I want to return, new list, and list of, no need to convert list of because it is not new list actually, just item only. L1 equals to, what function we have to use? Reduce of lambda x comma y, then x plus y. Every value is going to be added from where L. Then print L1, it will return into new list of elements, only one item. So let's run this. All elements will be added. And one element with multiply with another element. So the result is like this. And x minus y, the result is like this. You can do any operation by reducing the elements with the number of elements in the present in the list, and it's going to be reduce the values. But reduce function, if you want to work with compulsory, what module is required? Functools module is required. Whenever I'm giving comment, now it will not work out. You can see this reduce function is not defined, name error. So this is, suppose from functools import reduce I use, but what happen if I do like this, only import functools? So it will not work out because reduce function is present in which module? Functools module. You have to add compulsory functools dot reduce. Now it will work out, both are same. So that way of importing the statement is different actually here. Okay, so this is lambda expressions. So instead of normal functions, we can use lambda or anonymous function. The function which is don't have any name is called lambda functions or anonymous functions. And anonymous functions or lambda functions we can use to write very concise code. And sometimes a function will expect other function as an argument. In that cases, lambda function is the best choice. Lambda function is only instant use, only one time use. So lambda function repeatedly we cannot call. So this is lambda, and still we'll discuss more things about function in tomorrow's session. Okay.